My name is Jose Eduardo Olivares, and I'm an economics instructor here at South Texas College.
Jose, thank you for giving us the time today for this interview. This is all about a preview that we want to do in the Rio Grande Guardian for an event that you are co-hosting. It's called the Binational Educational Symposium. It's the third year you've done it, and maybe some of our viewers and readers will know it under a different guise. Back in the day it was called the ENO Conference, but now these days it's known as the Binational Educational Symposium. It's happening this week, and we're here, Jose, to talk to you, for you to tell us what it's all about, when it's happening, the sort of people that you want to tune in and listen and watch.
So this whole event is based on the idea of collaboration between institutions from Mexico and the United States. We're at STC. We pride ourselves in helping our community grow, and the only way that can actually happen is by having both sides of the border grow. So we reached out to U.A.T, Universidad Autonoma de Tamaulipas, INDEX Reynosa, and now we joined them to create what we call the Binational Educational Symposium. It is it's a two-day event that focuses on general topics in international trade. This year we're going to have topics in nearshoring. We're going to have the Federal Reserve come here and do a presentation for us about the economic outlook of the region. It's going to be a lot of great information in 2 days on November 9th and 10th. And we're hoping that the business community, city officials can join us. It's just a lot of information that's going to add a lot of value to our students' education.
Yeah. And so for those of us that remember the ENO conference, that was very much focused on what's happening in the Rio Grande Valley in terms of economic development. You have a much broader topic, international trade, and much more interaction with your counterparts in Mexico. Tell us how that evolved and why that is the focus.
Well, so it evolved from just talking with specifically with U.A.T in Mexico, Universidad Autonoma de Tamaulipas, and creating a collaboration between two of the premier institutions here in this area. So what we wanted to do is collaborate, see where we have common interest, and one thing that we found was our students are reaching their jobs after graduation without some of the skills necessary in order to be successful. And they saw it a lot in their careers based on international commerce. We also see it here with a lot of our students. They don't have maybe the soft skills necessary to be successful in any type of business environment. So based on that idea, we created this binational symposium, and where private sector professionals, experts, are basically teaching our students classes on specific skills that they need if they're interested in international commerce. We're focusing right now on international commerce because it's a very big area here in the Valley, obviously. So we think it's important to put that information out there. But eventually we will want to focus on other areas of business as well. We are in the business department, so those are the areas that we want to focus on. And actually this year we're doing a little bit of that on top of our 2-day online program that we're going to have. We're also having an event here in person at STC in our Pecan campus at the Student Union, where our students specifically from STC, from this side of the border, are going to be listening to conferences with the Federal Reserve, with conferences about financial literacy, conferences about certification programs here that we have that can go together with the degrees. And also we're going to have a speaker from Far International Bridge come over and talk to the students about possible careers in international business. We want to get students interested. We want them to know what's out there. I think this just brings value to what they're already getting in the classroom, adding value to their education.
Yeah, I get the sense talking to you, hearing your concept here, Jose, that these days, with this conference, it's much more focused on what's going to be good for the student. The students are going to get more out of this
Yes.
conference, and it's aimed at helping them learn what opportunities are out there.
Yeah, and basically that's one of the differences that we have between what was previously called ENO and to what we have now. We changed the name. It was before, it was the Innovation Conference. It was focused to the business community, what's out there, bringing speakers for the business community to take advantage of. We wanted to change the focus to our students. So if you notice, it's binational educational. It's for the students, adding value to what they're already getting, a great education here at STC, as well as universities in the north of Mexico. Hopefully we can start bringing other universities here from this side of the border. We have reached out to community college in the border area. We have reached out to our friends at UTRGV as well. Hopefully a collaboration with them with this project is possible in the coming years. But we want to start building up this conference, building up the economy, building up the human capital, the education level here in the valley, as well as in Mexico, so the whole country can grow together. We depend on each other. Like, that border is just there to divide countries in terms of geography, not in other ways. But the border is there, but there's no reason for us to not collaborate. It's very simple now. We have the technology. We don't have to go there. They don't have to come here. We can all learn together using the technology that we have. And I think it's just great for the whole region. Hopefully more universities can start jumping on board.
I think with that answer, you've answered the next question I had, which is, we all know that the trade between the two countries is growing because of the reshoring, because of the new trade agreement, USMCA, and the provisions in that. And so I was going to ask you why are you going to be holding such a conference? But you I think you've answered it there.
Yeah, like
it's something that's been missing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's something we need more collaboration. When I was growing up here in the valley, I'm a valley native. I've lived here since 1992, basically, and we used to have events like the Abrazo at the bridge, which to me that was very important. Every year I would be participating with the band, like the school band and things like that. But it was great to go to the border and say hi to our friends there and say, hey, we're in this together. And I think because of political environment, because of the pandemic, all of that changed, and we need to get back to that. Our economy here in the valley depends on Mexican citizens crossing over, buying our products. We love to go there. Their economy depends on us going over there, buying their products. We cannot just leave it there. We have to start proactively creating these relationships. And we can't just talk about it, we have to put it into action. And that's what this is about. Seeing how universities from both sides of the border, with somewhat of a language barrier, some of our instructors don't necessarily speak Spanish, their instructors don't necessarily speak English, but we find ways to make things work. And so that's the general idea here. We're in this together.
I haven't, this question it's been sprung upon you. I didn't say I would ask it, but because you're an economics instructor, do you have readily at hand in your head the trade figures we do, how much business we do?
No, I would not. Sorry.
But it's a lot.
It's a lot. I mean, we do have like the fourth largest port of entry. I can tell you, and that's what one of our conferences is going to talk about that. There's a lot of business coming in through our borders, specifically Far International Bridge. We have a port in Brownsville as well. There's a lot of opportunity there that maybe it might not look as fancy as working on Wall Street or opening up your own business, but there's major opportunity there for our students to excel, to make their own businesses, to become entrepreneurs.
I can verify that because I actually attended an event at South Texas College a few months back where South Texas College has started a certificate program for those that are interested in the customs broker business. And you're working as a college, you're working with the Mid-Valley Customs Brokers Association, and those industry leaders were telling the audience just what a profitable career you can have.
And I think that's one of the things that people are going to start seeing in the future. It is the future, not only getting an education, but getting certificates of all types. And that is something that STC is actually spearheading a lot. And that's something that when we talk about collaboration, sometimes we see these broad ideas of collaborating with other institutions. Sometimes it gets lost that we need to collaborate within our institutions. And so something that we've also been working here with this conference for the past 3 years is getting other departments involved. We've had obviously we've done collaborations with the technology department because they're the ones that helped us set up this online conference. We've reached out to educational technologies. We've had one of our music teachers did an intro for us for the pandemic. And this year, talking about certificates, we're gonna have our business side of STC come and give presentations on the types of certificates that our students can get while they are pursuing an academic career per se. And hopefully this opens up for our students, for not our students, but the students in Mexico next year. Maybe they can join us and learn about these same programs with our students. And there's no reason why a student from Mexico cannot graduate with an international commerce degree and then come to STC and get some kind of certification here in the United States. And this is how we start collaborating with each other so students can work on both sides of the border. That's what businesses are looking for. Do you know what happens here on this side of the border and vice versa? And that's something that STC does offer. And there's a lot of projects on that general direction here that we're spearheading at STC. Collaboration between borders.
Do you feel that you're trailblazers in this regard?
I think STC as an institution, we're always looking, especially under our new leadership with Dr. Solis. He's been really pushing this collaboration and expanding on our on our goals as an institution. We need to spearhead and try new things. And that's something that this new administration definitely, not that the other one wasn't doing it, but there's been a change in embracing these types of ideas that the border is not just McAllen, Mission, Edinburgh. The Valley is everything, specifically even on the other side of the border. We're all in this together.
Well, we're going to close, Jose, by you telling us.
By the way, a lot of our students here in STC drive every day from Mexico or take online classes from Mexico. This is something that
that's expanding, isn't it? Here
that is expanding, but not only because they're Mexican students that finally decided to come over here. No, they're American nationals living in Mexico, having their life over there, but studying in the U.S. And this type of conference, this hybrid form, helps them as well. They don't have to travel over here. They can catch it online.
Yeah. Well, I'd like you to end, Jose, by, I really appreciate what this preview of the conference. If you can tell us when and where, and then how people can learn more about it, how people can register, and then end by giving a shout out again to the main sponsors.
Yeah, if you do a basic Google search on Binational Educational Symposium, South Texas College, you'll see our website. Our registration link is there. It is open to the public, free of charge. There's a registration link there that's going to take us to our event website. It is both in English and in Spanish, depending on your preferences. And we want to give a big thank you to a couple of our sponsors, including The Guardian, IBC, Chick-fil-A. They've been really instrumental in helping us, bring prices to our students, add value to the conference, get interest in the conference. And we want to thank The Guardian again for giving us this space to talk about our project here.
Well, I'm going to end by saying that to remind the viewers and the readers that it's this week, Wednesday the 9th.
Yes, it's going to be here held. Basically,
Everything's online.
Everything's online. So you can just basically go to Binational Educational Symposium, South Texas College. All the links to all the conferences will be there. And if you want to join us in person on the 10th, please come to our Pecan campus at South Texas College. We're going to be at the Student Union's second floor. You can catch some of the live events there as well. If you want to be here in person, come get a drink, get a sandwich, and get some great information about what's going on here at STC and the country.
Well, Jose, thank you so much. As I say, we've learned a lot. We're looking forward to the conference. We've always covered this conference in whatever the format was, whatever the subject matter was, but we are looking forward to learning more about how your the new focus of the conference, the Binational Educational Symposium. Thank you so much for today's interview, and we'll see you Wednesday and Thursday.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.